This video shows you how to do the second part of the Extrude textbook. First thing you want to do is open all the parts, which are found in My Drive, Inventor, and then Extrude. The parts that you need are listed on your worksheet, but it's these. You can open them up all four at once by selecting all four. I'm going to pause this so you don't have to wait for these to open. Oh, there they are. And I missed opening one of them. So I'm going to go back in and open that. That's the 10. All right, so the first thing you want to do with part number 10 is you're going to extrude this center box or rectangle. So you simply hit extrude, and Inventor automatically finds the unconsumed sketch, or the sketch that hasn't been consumed by an extrusion. And you want to set the distance to 20. And you want it to go down instead of up, so you can hit the arrow here. And now, instead of it having straight sides, what you want to do is have it have angled sides, almost like a bathtub. So you can go to this More tab. So you were on Shape. Now you click on More. And in here you have a taper. A taper is just an angled extrusion. Okay, so what you need to do is type in a tapered degree. I'm going to type -12. And the negative makes it so that it gets smaller as it extrudes. If you leave it positive, it'll get bigger as it extrudes. So as you can see, this looks a bit like a bathtub now. I'm going to hit OK. And that is all you need to do with this. You might want to just click on the sides to make sure it does, in fact, look like they're angled. You are done with this part. The next part is 20. Hit your middle mouse button so that it scrolls out. And what you need to do with this part. All right, so you're going to hit extrude on this, and you're going to pick one of these rectangles. It doesn't matter which one. And now, instead of typing in a distance, this is what you're going to be learning in this unit, is all the different options under the extents. The extents is just what distance or what surface does the extrude go to. So in this case, we're going to say 2. And now you have to pick a surface. So this arrow is red right now. That means it's still waiting for you to pick a surface which the extrusion will end on. So I'm going to pick the yellow surface, and you see that it doesn't extend to it. This is because that yellow surface does not give it a complete termination for the profile. So instead, we're going to uncheck this box. You can see this box is called Terminate Feature. So if you check this, now it allows that extrusion to go to that yellow. The reason the yellow surface doesn't work for this option is this option, if it's checked, really sort of requires a flat surface. And this yellow is not obviously flat. So that's why that one didn't work. But we have to uncheck that so that it doesn't terminate at a surface, but instead it goes the whole way to the yellow surface. Okay, so I'm going to hit OK there and leave that. The next one, we're going to extrude. And I'm going to pick, it automatically picked this sketch for you, because it was the only sketch not consumed. So now I'm going to pick 2 again. And this time I'm going to pick the red face. And because this red face is a flat surface, you can leave this checked. And it looks like we wanted it to. So you can see in one case, if you want the extrusion to go to the rounded surface, you have to pick a different option set than if you want it to end on the red. So you are now done with number 20. One last thing that you don't need to do technically, but I want to show you, is what happens if you check the terminate feature, or uncheck it, let's say, with a flat surface. So right now it is checked, so that means don't extrude beyond the red surface that you selected. But if I uncheck this, it's going to keep going until it finds the next surface. So you can see in this case, we got the same result. One was with picking the yellow and unchecking, and this one was picking the red and unchecking as well. I'm going to hit cancel here though. Okay, the next part you're working on is 22. I'm going to double click to zoom out. And I like it in that orientation. All right, so again, we're going to pick Extrude here. And because there are two open sketches, it doesn't automatically pick one because it doesn't know which one you want. So I'm going to pick one of these, this closer one. And I'm going to say 2 again as the option. And I'm going to pick this yellow surface. And how this is a little bit different than the last one is if I give you a front-on view, you can see that this surface actually doesn't go up to where the extrusion is going to come, but the plane still extends, and Inventor almost imagines that that plane extends out, and you can still extrude to it even though it's not technically touching it. I'm going to hit OK on that one. And then the next extrusion it wants you to do is pick the sketch here. Pick 2 again. And this time I'm going to pick the work point. So if you see, there's a little yellow point up here. And it's actually called a work point, which is just a point on your sketch. So if I pick that point, it'll now go up to that point. And you can see from the side view that this one is angled with the plane, and this one just goes straight up to where the point is located. I'm going to hit OK. And you are now done with this one. All right, we're going to move on to 24. Again, zoom out. And in this case, what we're going to do is extrude again. And here we're going to pick 2 again, and I'm going to pick this cylinder. Now you can see that this hexagon stops at the closest face of the cylinder. This is because the default solution is to have the minimum amount of material. So in this case, the circle, even though the surface goes to the back side and the front side, I'll give you a front view, this extrusion stops at the close side. What I want you to see though is if you go to this More tab and uncheck minimum solution, the extrusion finds the back side of the cylinder. That's because a cylinder surface is round and it has no beginning or end, so the software can't decide between this side and that side. So it forces you to pick the side. So you can see if I check this, the minimum amount is there. If I uncheck it, it goes to the back side. But the default is minimum. So I'm going to leave that there, hit OK, and you're done with this one. All right, moving on to 26. Let me just rotate the part so you see what it looks like. So there's a hole on the back side. All right, so I'm going to hit extrude, and I'm going to pick this far side. And now, instead of saying 2, we're going to say 2 next. And what this does is it allows Inventor to automatically find the next surface that it would go to. And it does this for the entire sketch profile. So if you notice, it finds this arched piece, and then the flat surface, and then this, again, this curved piece. So I'm going to hit OK here. And that's 2 next. So if you notice, I didn't have to mess with the minimum solution or with the terminate feature. It automatically found everything for me. I'm going to hit extrude one more time, pick this, and I'm going to try to do 2 next again. But if you notice, it doesn't do it. Basically, it gives an error. The reason for that is if I show you a front-on view, part of the surface that it would be going to is empty. So that would be like telling it to go on forever. And since Inventor can't do that, it just gives you an error. It doesn't do the surface. So instead, you're going to have to pick 2 on this one. You can pick the back yellow surface. And now it'll go the whole way through the whole part. Similar to what it looks like on this side. And hit OK. So that's the difference between the 2 and the 2 next. And we are done with this exercise.